In the event you're doing this dungeon for your first time as a solo, I will go over the mechanics for you, and the main mechanic for this entire dungeon is basically connect the dots. To start this mechanic, you need to kill the minotaurs that will drop a buff when standing in this circle called Arctician, and this lasts around 45 seconds, and every time you shoot a button, it extends that timer by a few seconds. So for the entrance encounter, you will need to do this and follow 4 lines back to the middle. They all start in different positions. One is at the back right of where you walk into the encounter, another is straight back and down here in this hole as you see on screen, one is up to the top on the other side inside of a small room, and the final one is inside of this tunnel at the end of it. The way the lines work, you need to shoot them in sequential order, starting from the starting outlet and working your way all the way in. Just follow the line and shoot every button as you go, and you will know you did it right if the line that connects them glows blue. So start with the corners and work your way in, and once you get to the last part where they return to the middle, don't shoot the ending node in the middle. Instead, get all the lines finished up until it comes back to the middle, and then shoot all 4 in the middle at once. This is because ads spawn once you finish each line, so to prevent this, you can just finish them all at once. Quick tips for this are the Cyclops don't ever stop spawning no matter if you kill all of them or just one of them. So if you kill them, they'll just respawn, and same with all the ads. So I recommend ad clear supers, incandescent, sunshot, anything like that. Also heal clip weapons to stay alive, and concussive dampener with void and solar resistance, mainly for the Cyclops, but also worry about the goblins too. My biggest tip here is to stay inside as much as possible, and then the Cyclops can't see you, so you won't get one-shotted. And after this, you're onto your first transition encounter. It's basically the same thing. You simply start the lines and then you follow them around the lift and activate this lift, and it will take you up to the next part. You do this 3 times and then you are done. The ads are not at all hard to clear other than the hydras, but they also don't do as much damage as you may think. So get used to them being there, jump around, you can kill them if you want. Their health pool is pretty low, but once you finish the final lift, you go up, open this window, and go up to the final boss. And this boss is basically the same thing, like I said, except these 4 start inside and work outwards. Quick tip, as soon as you get the Arctician buff, activate all 4 nodes in the center and work on them one at a time on each beam. And the beams are labeled, and I think number 3 is the weird one because some of the buttons are like right next to each other and they cross over a lot. But once you get to the end of the beams, activate the fuel rod there, and then harpies will spawn. Try to take these out the best you can. And also for the DPS phase, you need all 4 fuel rods to be activated. Also, another tip is never go anywhere near the boss. I died because the boss teleported right next to me, and it was really cool. But once you do all the beams, a message will appear saying all fuel rods activated, and then the boss will go to wherever you just completed the last fuel rod. Stand by where you just shot that fuel rod and get ready to shoot the eyes. But before this, my biggest tip for this encounter in general is whenever minotaurs spawn, they spawn in pairs of 2s on the sides opposite of each other. Only kill one of them, and when you finish for DPS, finish on the beam where the other minotaur is not. This way more won't spawn, because as long as one minotaur is already arrived, the second one will not spawn. The ads will still spawn like the goblins, but the minotaur will not spawn. But other than that, for DPS phase, get ready to shoot all of the eyes. Trace rifles are amazing for this. LMGs are good too, but my best recommendation is trace rifles. This boss is precision based, so that means precision weapons are the best for this, of course. And similar to Garden of Salvation, if you use explosive weapons, including Nova Bomb, this boss will move off to one of the sides and make it harder to hit. There's not really a specific loadout I can recommend here except for linear fusions, still hunt, and golden gun. For Titans, Twilight Arsenal is fine, but Thunder Crash will make him move, but if you want a quick burst, go ahead. Warlocks, you guys don't have much super wise that won't make him move. Maybe Needle Storm, Song of Flame he moves, Nova he moves, so you guys can either deal with it or do insane weapon only DPS. Other than that, use what you're most comfortable with. You can use explosives, just be aware that he will move around. I had a really nice 3 phase with this, but it's definitely possible a 2 phase, and it should be a nice 3 to 5 phase. And also, it's important to remember at the end of the DPS phase, if you don't meet the required health gate, he will launch an AoE attack that will push you back, potentially pushing you off the map. But other than that, solar resistance is great here just because of the goblins and harpies, and the boss also shoots solar. And be careful parkouring around, as that's the only way you're really gonna die here. After this boss is another transition phase. This includes a new mechanic called how fast can you shoot these random buttons. All you need to do is get Arctician, locate 5 buttons in the room, and shoot them in a random order as fast as possible. A really good tip to know here is where the minotaur spawns, and you'll see a little console somewhere in the room. Where that console is, you can see all 5 of the nodes from that console. There's never a right order for these, so literally shoot them as soon as you see them, and if you do it fast enough, the floor will open up. Go down here and be very careful of the spinning fans. Do this 2 more times, and on the last room there are 4 around the map, with 1 in the middle being guarded by a hydra and electric bolts that one-shot you. So for this, I highly recommend you start with the first button in the middle and then go around the map from there. And then after this, you're on to the final boss. For this final boss, the best DPS option is easily grenade launchers as of now. Just to name a few: Edge Transit, Chill Inhibitor, Anarchy, Wither Horde, Mountaintop, and even Lost Signal. The boss has an extremely hard precision hit to hit, so for supers, hunters, still run Golden Gun. It's your best, and if you hit your crit, it does insane damage still. Titans, Thunder Crash with Curious of Falling Star, Twilight Arsenal for a quick burst, and for Warlocks, you guys can use Nova, well if you'd like, Song of Flame, or Needle Storm. This boss shoots Void, and it hurts, dude. So definitely run Void Resistance, Concussive Dampener, and maybe Solar for the ads too. But dodge the boss's attacks since they travel real slow. As for the encounter itself, the side doors will open as soon as the encounter starts, and I recommend going in there to kill the Hydras that spawn on both sides. To open the door and actually start the mechanics, after you kill the Hydras, 2 Minotaurs will spawn. You need Arctician, and you guys need to shoot these 5 buttons in the middle columns in order to open the door. And after this, the other side of those columns that you just shot, 2 of the nodes will be exposed, and you need to follow these into the other room. You need to then activate them both, and that's what starts your DPS phase. But in order to do this, the boss needs to be inside of the room when you finish the second node's line. After this, run out the door and stand in the middle. As soon as you see the red buttons spawn again, you need to close the door by shooting them all over again, and then after this, DPS phase will start. The boss takes damage as soon as the doors open, and do not proc your bait and switch until after you guys use your super. That's something that I did and I regret. It could have made my run that much better. Be sure to dodge the boss's attacks as he gets closer and keep doing damage, of course. For the ads in this encounter, watch out for the supplicants. They can one-shot you, and take your time doing the lines. Be sure to kill the ads as you go, and you can use a heal clip weapon. I used Sunshot and it worked amazingly. Incandescent will as well. And for the Minotaurs, it's the same thing as the last encounter, where if one is alive, the other one won't respawn. So just be sure to follow that and you should be fine there. Be extremely careful with the ads and don't explode yourself like I almost did in this clip here. And my best tip here is to weave in between the boss's shots. It's pretty easy, literally just go side to side and jump around a lot when you're doing the encounter. This prevents the supplicants from hitting you, this prevents from the Minotaurs from hitting you, the goblins are going to miss more, and the boss is going to miss more. Other than that, just live and don't die, of course. So I hope this helps you guys even a bit. This dungeon is not too bad at all. I would probably rank it easier than Prophecy maybe. Just play it safe and you guys should be fine. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world, and please subscribe for more. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.